What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Pepe's price is continuing to absolutely give off some fantastic bullish signals, and I want to share them with you today. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Don't forget, my friends, if you do want to do a little trading yourself on Bitcoin, Pepe, Sui, Sol, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you do sign up specifically with my link down there, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $4,000, they're going to give you $400 on the spot to start trading with. And whatever profit you make from that is completely yours and no strings attached. It's literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market. And I think that the platform's amazing. They've been around for a very long time and are constantly making upgrades. So if you do want to check that out, go check out that BTCC link down below. So looking at Pepe, what we can see is that exactly what we were hoping for in yesterday's video is finally coming to fruition. Of course, in yesterday's video, I told you, hey, Pepe's making a move right now, absolutely sending it. I would be on the lookout to see if Pepe's price can finally break this green box because it feels like it probably will. You know, one thing that we had been tracking for a while, for at least, 2-3 days, was the Bollinger bandwidth. Let me get this pulled up for you. The Bollinger bandwidth, and we were tracking it here on the daily charts. And I told you, the Bollinger bandwidth has now hit the same level that Pepe always hits right when it's about to break out. So we were watching this thing like a hawk, like, oh snap, we might finally be seeing Pepe's price about to break out of this green box. Pay close attention. Now, if you don't remember, the green box is so important because this is what you call the macro Fibonacci zone, okay? So if we just clear off our drawings and we add our Fibonacci tool on, what you can see is that it gives us this yellow box, which we turned green because Pepe, you get it. But what you can see here, right, is we have this golden box, and this is the Fibonacci zone. This is your golden ratio, the 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone. And I've told you all so many times here on the channel that when a crypto is capable of finally breaking this golden box, it opens up the door to what's called a Fibonacci extension. Or put as simply as possible, when you have your indicator, your Fibonacci indicator turned on, when a crypto is capable of clearing this golden box, it usually will be able to get up to these extension levels up here, which are, 2.9 to 3.3 for Pepe, meaning that, back then I was telling you, hey, if we clear this golden box, we might have still another 30%, 50% move on the way, which is, of course, absolutely insane. And so what we were watching like a hawk was whether or not Pepe's price was able to break this green box or not. And baby, it did. Now, not only did it break the green box, we also saw Pepe's price push up past that previous high up here that we put here, now setting the higher high on the 4-hour charts, absolutely killing it. Now, the coolest part about it is what we're seeing from Pepe is that even though its price did break this key zone, it is maintaining and sustaining here well, which is what we're going to focus on today, because what we're actually seeing from Pepe right now is extremely bullish, and I'll explain this why in a second. Now, I will let you know. I know some of the things that I'm probably already saying and are going to say will be a little confusing. We're talking about the Fibonacci's, extensions, retracements, liquidity, all this stuff. If you're someone who is just trying to add more tools to your toolbox, you're trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, maybe you're a little bit confused, you just want to get better. All that I ask specifically from you watching right now is that you just stick around until the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how you can get access to our Discord server, which is where we have a bunch of classes, buy signals, sell signals, trades, courses, live streams, and much more that are literally generating hundreds of percentages for our members every single day. So if you want to be somebody who's taking and learning all these lessons and using it to generate hundreds of percentages of gains, all that I ask again specifically from you is that you stick around until the end of the video. Now, looking at Pepe, okay, let's kind of go forward a little bit. Let's push forward a little bit. Now that you understand why the green box is so important, let's talk about what is going on now. Because you all know I get a little bit nervous isn't the word, but maybe anxious, I don't know, about cryptos whenever they break resistance zones, right? So say if a crypto is going up towards a resistance zone and we get the breakout, of course I'm always excited, don't get me wrong, and I'm happy we finally broke the level, but I get a little bit nervous because what happens immediately after this almost always indicates what's very likely going to happen over the following few weeks or couple days at least. Now, what I mean by that is, this thing has two options, right? Option number one is that it stays on top of this line. Option number two is that it falls back below this line. If it stays on top of this line and we can flip this previous point of resistance into support on what's called a back test, we're looking very good. And that crypto can usually push to the upside. But if it comes back down and immediately crashes back below that previous point of resistance, this is called a fake out. And usually what's going to happen is a nasty dump to the upside, the downside afterwards. And so because of that, the moment that we get this move, I always get a little bit nervous, like, oh snap, okay, okay, what's going to happen next? How are we going to react? Because that's going to be super, implicative of whether or not this is going to be a real breakout or not. And what you can see from Pepe right now is Pepe's doing what's called a back test, and while back testing is creating some very, very, very bullish structure, guys. I mean, absolutely bullish structure. I'm sure you can see it here, especially if you've been on my channel for a while. Pepe is creating currently what's called a descending channel, and I absolutely adore descending channels. They're not 100% guaranteed to break to the upside, but man, they break more to the upside than any structure I've ever seen in my entire life. And so as we are seeing Pepe come back down towards this green zone, we are doing what's called a back test, meaning we're trying to flip this green zone into some support. And right now, it very, very, very much so feels like Pepe is going to be able to successfully do that. And obviously, it's not guaranteed, and it might end up coming back down. But right now, we're seeing all good signs. We're seeing the hourly RSI resetting all the way back towards that 50% threshold already. The 4-hour RSI already dipping back towards that 63% threshold, which isn't bad. We're seeing Pepe, one thing I forgot to mention is that as Pepe broke above this green box and got far enough away from it, once you get a certain distance, and I haven't really been able to come up with exactly how far away it is, but you can kind of just eyeball it, you create what's called a VPOS, okay? And a VPOS is a viable point of support. And what that means is that when you break above a resistance zone, right, and then you're far enough away from it, this becomes a viable point of support, a VPOS, meaning that if this crypto starts falling back down, there's enough space in between the top and that previous point of resistance to actually generate enough of a reset that when you hit that support or that previous point of resistance, you can actually flip it into support, right? Because say, for example, if you break this level like this, is this, you were going all the way up, then you get this. Is this really enough of a pullback hitting that support to generate a real support zone? Probably not. You're usually going to fall further than that. Whereas in a situation where you go up way past it, this now becomes a viable point of support to where it does make sense. You get a good 20-30% correction down to this level, and then you can actually use it for support. And that's what we saw from Pepe. Pepe broke far enough above this green box, in my opinion, that this now does become a VPOS. And we're in a spot in which, of course, the bulls can get that enough of a reset here for these indicators to cool down and reset before looking for that bounce upwards. And so because of that, the primary focus of what I wanted to tell you today was, hey, listen, although Pepe's price is pulling back a little bit, and it is down from that peak that we put in here up, 6 to 10% depending on what time you're watching this video, it's still maintaining very well. And as its price is pulling back, it's creating an extremely bullish structure that I do believe will try to break towards the upside here. And so because of that, again, I know although you might be feeling like, oh, snap, did I miss it? Or, is the run over? I wouldn't think so, because we do have a lot more room from here to the bottom of this green box. And it does feel as if Pepe is going to successfully flip this resistance into support and try to continue upwards. Now, will this attempt to be successful? I don't know. Time will tell, and we'll be here covering that as it does happen. But I do have a good 80-90% feeling that we are going to see Pepe's price try to use this back test and try to use this descending structure as a period in a moment to be able to push back towards the upside. And obviously, I'll continue to update you as this does play out. So very, very good signs from Pepe. I am really, really liking what I'm seeing here. And I do think that if we can successfully back test this, we might see Pepe try to make a break up towards that 3 level, like we have been tracking and chasing for the last few weeks. And so, of course, I'll keep you updated as this all does play out and as we do get closer to that. And now, as I mentioned earlier, for all of you who are just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I really want you to go to the links down below, and I want you to check out the Discord server. Now, in order to get access to the server, you're going to have to check out that Patreon link down below. And guys, it is the cost of a Netflix subscription every month or cheaper, either $17 a month or $5 a month. But what comes with it is absolutely insane. I mean, you're going to get Insights with Tyler, which goes, it's my own personal feed, my thoughts, my insights, things that I'm buying and selling, changes to my portfolio, my advice and guidance about things I'm seeing in the market, and much more. You're going to get daily technical analysis reports on all the different cryptos we cover here on the channel, fundamental analysis every morning on the market itself. I've hired 2 teams of professional traders to give their buy and sell signals every day that they're trading. And you got to think, these are people whose businesses, their livelihoods rely on them making good trades, and they're going to be posting their trades here in the server exclusively for you guys. We have exclusive live shows. We have, of course, if we go over to announcements, just recently announced the launch of Crypto Vault Live, which is going to be a 30-minute show every morning, Monday through Friday, going over the market, what's happening in the news, and much more to get you super updated on what's happening in this crazy crypto world. We have premium classes on things like the Fibonacci's, the Bollinger Bands, bull market investing, live workshops on things like, a beginner's guide to XRP Ripple with one of our coaches, Crypto Atlas. We have beginner's courses on things like leverage trading, on things like technical analysis. Guys, these are 30-minute long videos, 20 2-page presentations, you're getting vocabulary, you're getting cheat sheets, you're getting all the stuff that you'll need to really start learning how all this stuff works. There's tips with Tyler in which these are little 2 or 3 minute long videos just going over random things like taking profits, setting up certain settings, just things like that. And then of course there are premium questions, which is a chat in which premium members can go in and ask a question to myself or one of the 5 coaches and get that thing answered as soon as possible. And as a result of all of this value that we're providing, guys, all of the workshops, all of the classes, we are seeing hundreds of percentages. Well, in this case, thousands of percentages. Shout out to this guy putting in a 6,000% gains. But of course, we can see hundreds of percentages being printed every single day. I mean, this is just yesterday, guys. Hundreds of percentages. So if you want to be one of these people who are learning these lessons, using these lessons to build your strategy and using that strategy and turning it into real life money, real life profit, real life gains, hundreds of percentages of gains, then go down to the link in the description below. Again, go check out that Discord server because it is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, which in my opinion is just a crazy good deal. So feel free to go check that out down below. Let me know what you think, and don't forget, we do post 4, 5, 6 videos here on the channel every single day. So if you do enjoy them, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.